Obviously, advertising has kind of been the great white hope of the video market, and it's a tool that really hasn't emerged in a fully formed way today. So the initial hypothesis was that, video is terribly expensive compared to most other forms of content for websites. And so most early players believed that by putting advertising on top of video, they would offset the cost of video. And for a very small number of sites that make the annual multi-million-dollar investment in producing their own long-form content, like the Disneys or the CNNs or the ESPNs of the world, they actually have enough impressions and content that's high enough value that ad agencies and advertisers, the people who control most of the brand spend, thinks that that's an ad buy that makes sense. But for most sites, it's very difficult for them to break the million video impressions a month, which is kind of the minimum point of entry. And it really doesn't get interesting from a revenue perspective unless you can get to 20 or 30 million impressions a month. And when you consider that the top 10 consumer sites start at like 40 million impressions a month, you understand that it's a very small market of people who have the impressions. And then on top of that, there are real questions as to, is user-generated content really a medium that people can advertise on top of? And will that audience, who mainly is drawn to novelty content, really put up with the intrusion of advertising? So it's kind of like if you're watching your favorite episode of Seinfeld and an ad pops up for Head & Shoulders, how likely are you to click away and go visit Head & Shoulders site as opposed to keep watching the show that you're involved with? So I think that the model today requires that there be greater volume of consumption and that brands figure out a way to match their messaging to the content that exists, which today hasn't happened very well, and as a result video advertising isn't terribly effective. What we try to do is help people focus on doing video in ways that actually drives key business initiatives as opposed to just video for the sake of video. So many of the sites that we work with are either selling a product or a service, they're using video as a way of driving new traffic or viral traffic to the site. They're piggybacking a call to action on top of that, or they're looking at the page impressions that video drives and the way that they can monetize those entire pages, as opposed to thinking of in-video advertising as being kind of their sole remedy in offsetting the cost of video.